Detroit, Michigan. And I am proud to say that I have my eyebrows and eyelashes done by the doll facer as well. She is a wife of 11 years, a mom of five, three biological, two bonus. She's the owner of a retail brand entitled Milk Pimp. She's also known as MP. She's also a minister at Divine Restoration Ministries. Her introduction into makeup artistry started in the late 1990s, where she began as a Mary Kay consultant. She did local modeling in the early 2000s, and after various career changes, with the last being an exotic dancer, she decided to pursue makeup artistry full time. Over the course of her career, she's worked in several salons in the Detroit metro area prior to opening her own, the Dow Face Studio, studio and over 10 years ago inside Greenfield Plaza. And then she relocated to the Avenue of Fashion. And after a few years on the Avenue, she decided to close and expand her family. And that's when she entered into the beauty world after a brief hiatus following the birth of her youngest daughter. That was short lived due to the last addition to the family, her youngest son. She took another hiatus, and shortly thereafter, the world shut down due to COVID. During the pandemic, she launched her online retail business, Milk Pimp MP, and that's a brand that's breastfeeding friendly, with items geared towards moms who breastfeed. She then went back to makeup artistry in 2021. And some of the items that have been published is Hair Designs Magazine, Prestige Magazine, Flair, Black Passion, New Clientele, International Controversy. And as far as movie and TV, some of the makeup teams that she's been on is for the movie entitled Cornerstone, 2012 to 2017, makeup artist for Restoration Today, Impact Network. And awards, 2013, she received the makeup artist for the first Detroit hairstylist to win the Bronner Brothers. If you're from Detroit and in the hair world, you know what that is. Fantasy Hair Competition, 2013 winner for Best Makeup Artist for the 107.5 Hot Wood Awards, 2014 second place, 2014 PNA Scholars Midwest Makeup Artist Award, and 2014 launched Doll Faced Cosmetics. And some of the celebrities that she's worked on includes Keisha Cole, Judge Mathis, Robin Givens, and Leon. Thank you and welcome to the show, The Doll Facer.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me. I'm listening. I'm like, dang, really? Like I feel like it's so much more to do.
It is. So I want you to take a quick moment and pat yourself on the back.
Okay, pat pat.
Okay. You know, especially being a wife and a mother and obviously a serial entrepreneur and great at what you do. Your face looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
So let's get right into it.
Okay.
I'm going to work backwards and then go up to the top.
Okay, let's do it.
How did you start working with some of these celebrities that we named? Keisha Cole, Judge Greg Mathis, and Leon. How did you even get those opportunities?
Okay, well, the opportunity to work with Keisha Cole came, like when you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
That's how it goes.
And that's really how that happened. And it caught me so off guard that when I got the call for it, I initially thought that maybe someone was pranking me, calling me on the phone or something like that. And so, but that ended up not being the case. And it was a long time ago. This was when I'm going to tell you how long ago it was. It was back when she was on tour with R. Kelly.
Oh, wow.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, that was short blonde hair Keisha Cole. So I had the opportunity to do her makeup for the concert here, and then they ended up calling me back for when she had the next concert. I think it was in Columbus, Ohio, somewhere in Ohio. But I ended up doing her makeup there too. So that was a good experience. That was fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What about, and everybody in Detroit, we love some Judge Greg Mathis because he represents us so well. How did that opportunity come about?
Okay, well, that came about by working with another makeup artist that's in the city, in the metro area, Rashida, the Glam Doctor. Shouts out to the Glam Doctor.
Shout out.
Yeah, and I used to be one of the artists that was on her team. Okay. And so she would, plug us into like different movies or different plays that took place in the area,
Okay.
and that's how I got that opportunity to work with work on Judge Mathis and on Robin Givens and Leon
Okay, so
from
that was a
different
play.
plays.
'Cause, yeah, I remember Robin Givens used to do the plays a lot back in
Yes.
the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Leon, all the women love some Leon.
Right.
How did that opportunity come about?
Same
Same
way.
way.
Yeah, same
Okay.
way. He was in a
A
play
play.
that was held here, and I had the opportunity to work with him as a result of him being in the play and being on the makeup team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, us being from Detroit,
Mhm.
people say, we have some negativity that people spit out about the city. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, everybody can agree that we have some of the most beautiful women,
This is true.
really,
This is
in
true.
Detroit. And our swag is just unmatched, it's untouched. I mean, it's
Unmatched.
just unfadable,
It is.
you know.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because we take pride in how we look.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because we set ourselves apart. We tend to not necessarily try to copy what other people are doing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we may take a trend and we'll add our own, flavor to it, and it'll make it distinctly our own.
Yeah.
We could take one piece, one thing that could be like a signature thing, and then once we get a hold to it, it becomes Detroit.
Yeah.
Um, Prime example of that happening is I saw a post about from a hairstylist that used to live here, but she's since relocated to LA.
Okay.
And I saw that she had a friend of hers that was down in Houston for the Lions game, right?
Okay.
And so
We turned it out,
we
didn't we?
listen here, okay? I had clients that went down
Yes.
there, and it was just Detroit was Detroiting
Yeah.
down there, okay? And so he, from what I read on the post, he wasn't from here. He was from out there, but I guess was down in Houston, And the swag that Detroit had, the way that we moved and everything had impressed him so much to where he said he wanted to come here to visit.
Okay.
Like he's planning a trip. This is what I saw on social media.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dang, Detroit. I'm like, we really was doing it down there. Down to, and then a prime example of how we may take one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then once we get a hold to it, it becomes ours. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a signature Detroit thing.
Yeah.
Buffs.
Yes. White buffs.
Right.
Period. We
And
got
so,
the
you know what
walking
I
around, big
right.
stretch.
And so it's like, even though,
Yes.
Cartier has been around for the length of time that it's
We
been
take it to
around,
another
once
level.
we got a hold to it, it became synonymous with Detroit fashion, style, and culture. And so that's just what we do.
Yeah.
We.
Same with the Pellies.
Right.
You would think Pellies was made in Detroit the way we rock it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. And even like when you go out of town,
Mhm.
there have been times when I've gone out of town and, be wherever, and somebody be like, where you from?
You from Detroit?
And you from Detroit? Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it's like, how do you know? Like, do I got the old English D on my forehead? Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
We
But
stand out.
we do.
Yep. So you've worked at a lot of salons in the areas. 1st of all, the Avenue of Fashion is infamous.
It
okay?
is, yeah.
That was even in Time magazine. They said that the Avenue of Fashion has the most black-owned strip of black-owned businesses in the entire country. So
That's
they did give
something.
us a shout out for that.
Yeah.
What was it like working in a salon on the Avenue of Fashion?
I loved it.
Okay.
I really loved it. I loved the vibe over there. I loved the energy over there. I loved the clientele that came over there, and I love the historical significance of the app. Like, I have fond memories as a child, shopping with my grandma, on the app, to the shoe store that used to be over there, and B. Spiegel's that used to be on like 7 Mile Livernois, and so to be able to have those memories and then be a part of it as an adult was like that had its significance as far as
Absolutely.
nostalgic reasons or whatnot.
Yes.
But even being able to see the reemergence and the
Yes.
resurgence of the vitality over there was like exciting, because when I was over there, some of the stores weren't there that are there now. Like, for example, even some of the restaurants were
Yeah.
new when I was the time that I was over there.
Mhm.
Like the like the chicken and waffle spot.
Yeah,
That's
Cuzzo.
Cuzzo's. Yeah,
Shout out to
Cuzzo's.
them.
Yeah, that was new when I was over there.
Yeah.
Bucharest was actually being built at the end of the block that I was on when I was over there. And so just seeing, the buzz and being a part of it, and then when they had like, Light Up Livernoid and
Yeah.
the different events that took place, and the sense of camaraderie and community that was over there was just like wow,
With our people.
yeah, with our people. Yeah, it was just like wow, this is dope, and I really loved it over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny when you said B Seagulls. Freddie was just on here probably about 3 weeks ago.
I saw that.
And he gave a shout out to that. I said, you know what? Back in the day, what were some of the, because hey, he's a legend when it comes to dressing. I said,
Right.
what were some of the best places to shop? And that was probably like number 2 on his list when you said that.
Yeah.
And he would know.
Right, right. And then
Yes.
even like with Simply Casual, being right there. Like I remember when they were on 7 Mile near Outer Drive. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the whole synergy, just the whole, the city coming together, and those of us who are natives, we love it.
We do.
Love it. It's energetic.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Greenfield Plaza. What was it like there? Because I haven't been there in forever, but back in the day, I mean, it was just like, oh my god, everybody was bad.
Yeah.
Like the stylists,
Yeah.
the barbers,
Yeah.
the jewelry. I mean, the girls with the boutiques,
Yeah.
the basement. I mean,
Yeah. You know
was
what?
it like and people was getting money? What was it like just being around people that look like you, that's getting money and doing what they have a passion for, what they love to do?
It was exciting. It was really interesting and exciting because when I got to Greenfield Plaza, this is like a long time ago. When I was there weren't as many salons in there as there are now, or as there has been since that time. When I got there, you still had, I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Cool C.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Who's
cool,
not?
right? So and so some of the younger people, they be like, well, who's that? But so he was still there.
Yeah.
So that's how long ago it was when I got there.
Okay.
And so, like I said, there weren't as many salons. You still had more jewelry stores and jewelry repair stores and things of that nature. You had your boutiques and whatnot. What I liked about it was it was similar to a mall because of the structure and because of the variety of businesses that were there. And I liked that the traffic that came through there, you really didn't have many dull moments. There wasn't like always a lot of downtime depending on the time of the year or the day or things like that. So it was really good being in there. It helped me with my like people skills. It helped with time management. It helped. Well, I'm a people person. Like I genuinely love people. I'm that person that's in line that if the line is however long, I'm gonna more likely talk to somebody that's in front of me or behind me or something. I'm
So
just
you never meet a stranger.
I don't meet strangers.
I can
Yeah.
attest to that. Because from the first time we met, we just clicked, and I mean, we just was going.
I know, right, for real. And
Yes.
so, and so like I said, I love people and whatnot. But the thing I can say, again about being there because of the traffic that would come through, sometimes you had to be on it. You had to be able to manage your time well because you had you're in a space where yes, you're talented and you have whatever gifts and skills that you have, but you're not the only one.
Right.
And so people, if they see that they have options or whatever, they might have chair hop. You know what I mean? And so it's like that's where I've chair hop too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when it's available, you could kind of you can't really blame the client for real, but thankfully I've had the opportunity to have some of my clients actually stick with me, over the years or whatnot. Of course, picked up new ones along the way, glory to God. But yeah, that's one of the things that I could say I learned and gained from being in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Time management and just moving at the speed of opportunity.
I am going to have to steal that one. Moving at the speed of opportunity.
Yeah.
That is so profound. Do you realize how profound that statement is?
No.
It is.
I mean, moving at the speed of opportunity and being a risk taker.
Yes.
Because
That's what entrepreneur is all about.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur is all about.
Because I didn't open my salon when I was I wasn't a salon owner when I got to Greenfield Plaza.
Well, it's levels to this.
It is. It's levels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you were
levels.
like basically learning pretty much how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
was. Because the first salon that I worked in was Nailtorious Nails with White Girl Kim.
Okay.
You heard of Brooklyn Queen?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, she's a local artist here. My kids love her, but her mom was like a bomb, one of the coldest to do it when it comes to nails. And so that was the first salon I worked in.
Okay.
And so I went from there, and then I worked. When I left there, I went to another salon that was called Elliot's Barber and Beauty. They're no longer open. Left there and went to a salon called Flawless that used to be on 7 Mile of Oakfield.
Mhm.
That was like a real poppin' salon, back then. And I left there and went to um it used to be on Wyoming near 6 Mile. It was with stylist D Ruff. Shouts out to D Ruff. And it was her salon. I worked there. And when I was pregnant with my oldest son, that's when I left there and worked at Nubian Soul that used to be inside Greenfield Plaza. A friend of mine that does natural hair, named Awet, she had a salon in Greenfield Plaza,
Okay.
and I was able to, work in there. And when she closed her salon to relocate out of state, I worked in another salon in Greenfield Plaza called Imaginations,
Okay.
and I moved with them, in the building. And what ended up happening was I had like a mini suite, and the mini suite that I had, my clientele was starting to grow, and I was, how sometimes you'll get pushed out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Because you
Sometimes
might stay there.
you might stay there, right? And the guy be like, "No, I have something more for you. I got you. You got to go higher. You got to go to the next level.
Speed of
The
opportunity.
speed of opportunity." And so I got pushed out of my comfort zone,
Uh-huh.
and so that's how Dollface Studio came to be. Because I was there, and then I had like another suite,
Uh-huh.
and I had spoken to the owner, the plaza, and had in mind, which suite I wanted,
Mhm.
which was for sentimental reasons, the old location for Nubian Soul.
Okay.
And he said, "You know what? I have a different suite for you," and it ended up being one of the ones that was like right off the elevator on the fourth
Wow.
floor.
So it gave you a lot of traffic.
It gave me a lot of traffic. Yeah, it gave me a lot of traffic, and it gave me more eyes on me, and it was really good. Yeah.
How did you get the name? How did you come up with the Doll Facer?
You know what?
What's
Because
behind that?
this is the thing. Now, in the hair books, right? Now how we
I was gonna
were
go
with
there.
them hair books.
Yes.
Yeah, so
What
that's
you talking about cool seeing them.
right.
Okay.
That's where it came from. It's
Okay.
like, the different hairstylists and nail techs, especially back then, like in the 90s, early 2000s, whatever. It's
Y'all
like they
was like
had
celebrities. First of all, back in the day, hairstylists and stuff was like local celebrities in the D. I don't know other places that do it. Like
Man, it was wild, and I got I got a little funny story for that too.
Uh-huh.
But it was like everybody was like, "Okay, this is your name," but then it's like they had alter egos or stage names or something. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, "Well, dang, I need a name." Like I wanted a name because at the time I didn't see makeup artists that advertised
Mm-hmm.
in the hair magazines.
Right.
I saw lash techs
Mhm.
that are advertised in the hair magazines or whatnot, but I didn't really see makeup artists that advertised in the hair magazines. So I'm like, you know what? That's what I need to do, because that's what like the poppin' hairstylists, they were in the hair magazines. I'm like, I need to get in the hair magazines,
Mhm.
and so I did that. And I'm like, I need a name though. I need a name so that people can know that I don't do hair, because that's all that was
Was
in the
associated,
magazines
yeah,
was
uh-huh.
hair or
Nails.
nails. So I'm like, Doll Face. And my granddaddy used to call people Doll sometimes, Doll. And sometimes he would call me Doll. And I'm like, Doll Face. Doll Face is by Tia. Yeah, so back then I didn't hear nobody, no Doll, nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Shout out to your granddad for
Right,
that.
yeah. So I did. So that's where Doll Face is. And then so I'm like, well, I'm the Doll Facer,
Mhm.
because I'm giving them this Doll Face. And so that's where it came from.
And it just stuck.
And it just stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, it just stuck.
Now let's go to the magazines, because I'm glad we talking about that.
Mhm.
Listen, I mean, the magazines was just like the junk back in the
Man,
day.
they were.
And you would go to the salon, and while
Mhm.
you was waiting on your turn, you would go, and sometimes they had the little stories, the back stories, and you'd be like, and you'd be folding out pages. Like, I like this, okay, I like
Mhm.
this. So when it's your turn, you got in the chair. We
Mhm.
wasn't asking for you like makeup stuff, just made up styles. You'd be like, I want something like this.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
point to it.
Mhm.
How did you end up getting into the magazines? Because I never knew how people got into them. But like I said, hairstylists was like local celebrities back in the day, Lil Willies, all of that.
Right. And I had the opportunity to do some makeup for his models before.
Okay.
Yeah, for like a hair show.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, like hair shows, hair magazines. It's like, you would now for a makeup artist, you would either get hired by the actual magazine to do the
The makeup.
makeup for the stylist and their models, or there be other instances where the stylist would hire you themselves, to do their makeup and for
Uh-huh.
their models or whatnot. And then other times you would, pay for your ad space,
Okay.
in the magazines.
Okay.
And so it was usually either of those ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now hair shows.
Mhm.
We used to take hair shows to another level.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
In Detroit.
Oh
Okay,
no,
people
facts.
just don't do it.
That's
like that.
facts. Man, listen. Okay, like the behind the scenes action
Talk about
and the behind the scenes energy
that.
for preparation for hair shows is just like unreal.
Okay.
Like you would have, and it's like assembly line. You know what I mean?
And
It's
you gotta
like,
move fast.
and you got to move. And it's like sometimes it's no sleep. Like cause you working, you doing the models. You know what I mean? And like for there was one hair show that ended up getting shut down because it was over capacity. It was at Kobo.
Wow. And Kobo was big. Everybody.
Yes, and that show
That was too big.
it was too big. It was people. When I tell you, it was mad people everywhere.
Okay, give me an
Mad.
idea. Like,
Like,
how many people you think?
imagine like the car show on the busiest day. That's how big it was, and it may have been more people than that because the fire marshal came to shut it down. So the show didn't even finish. Like there were many acts that didn't even go on, including me.
Wow.
And I was in that particular show. I was in a body paint battle because I used to do body painting.
Really?
Yeah, I used to do body painting.
Okay.
So,
Girl, you
like-
are just all kind of
Yeah, and so like the fire marshal shut it down.
In Detroit.
Yeah, and so that day, the adrenaline
Mhm.
in preparing for the show, I know I stayed up longer than 24 hours that day. I did because I did I had I don't know how many models I had. I don't know if I had 10 models. I had a bunch because I did their brows and their lashes, so it was just like an assembly line. It's like, okay,
Yes.
y'all all coming this day to get y'all brows and lashes done. Then I gotta do y'all makeup. Then I gotta do y'all body paint. So it was just me. So I was like a one woman operation. And so I had the models who had got a hotel room at the Pontchartrain. I said, look, we're gonna be down at the hotel room at the Pontchartrain so that nobody get lost and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. And so start on one, spray them down, paint them up. You go ahead, take a nap next. Da, 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 da. So I'm up the whole time. They taking naps and breaks and stuff in between. I'm
You're
up.
not.
I'm not. So I was up this particular day for this particular show. I was up from maybe either that the show was Sunday. Okay, yeah, so I was up from Saturday morning until after the show Sunday night,
Wow.
prepping all the models, getting everybody painted, makeup done, all that type of stuff or whatever. And then they got to get their hair done, all of that, whatever.
Yes.
And so all of this is happening, but it just seems like one long day. It didn't seem like da-da-da. And I remember I crashed like when it was
bet.
over. I literally was like SpongeBob. I was no, not SpongeBob. I was like Patrick on the bed, like
gotta get some rest.
man.
So it was
Yes,
that many people who had bought tickets.
yes. It
and
was
came.
like serious, like no exaggeration. The fire marshal shut that show down.
Wow.
And the thing about it, what was really it's impressive because of the magnitude of the show and because of the number of people that were there. But on the flip side, it was disappointing and kind of devastating because of the money that
That
you
you put into
spend
it. Yeah.
to perform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you spend your money on your supplies, on your outfits, on your costumes, on your music, just everything that goes into it, and then for it to not happen, you know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
It is
It was like,
disappointing.
man, disappointed is like an understatement. So
Wow.
yeah, so that was one of the things that happened. And then another thing with the hair shows, speaking to your point
Hmm.
about how it would be like almost like local celebrity type thing or
Yeah.
whatever. When the first time I went to Bonner Brothers in Atlanta, I
Hmm.
had the opportunity to be a platform makeup artist for Prestige magazine.
Okay.
And so I was a platform artist, and I was down there with Notorious Nails. They were on the platform,
Okay.
doing nails or whatnot. And so I'm there, and it was my first page. It was the first time I had a page in a hair magazine. And
Oh.
so, and this was like around when, not long after 9/11,
Okay.
and so we were, a lot of people had like patriotic, inspirational designs
Designs.
with hair and nails and whatnot. We get creative.
Yeah, we
We
do.
took the flag and ran with it.
Uh huh.
Okay, and so
Literally.
literally, and so I think the ad that I was in on that page, I had like the some kind of American flag thing, like crisscross, like a bandeau top or something like that, and
Uh
some
huh.
kind of red, white, and blue makeup or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And so one of the nail techs told me, because he had been to the Brown Brothers before. He was like, "Now listen, I'm gonna tell you, when you get down there, people gonna be. They might act like they know you. They might want your autograph or da da da." I'm like, "Yeah, right, whatever." I'm thinking like he, exaggerating or
Exaggerating.
whatever, because I hadn't experienced. I didn't know.
Uh
You know
huh.
what I'm saying? Sure enough, we're in the convention center, right? We getting on the escalator, so that we can go to our booth or whatnot and set up with everything. And a girl running up was like, "You doll face?" I'm like, and that's the face I had. I'm like, yeah, she had that hair book. And she wanted me to sign it.
Oh
I thought it was so
wow.
weird. I mean, it was flattering, but it just really
Yeah.
took me fast. Like, girl, what?
Uh huh.
I'm like, wow. But so, yeah, to your point, yeah,
Local celebrities on
man.
tour.
But that was
Look,
in
you
that,
was on
that was in
tour.
Atlanta, right? And I
Yeah.
was just like, wow, that was bugged out. But yeah, it was fun though. High
Yeah.
energy,
So I
yeah.
want to talk about the body painting real quick.
Okay,
Can
yeah.
you tell me what did that consist of? What did it look like? The body painting.
The body paint that I did was done mainly by hand. I would use like liquid latex. And then other times I would do airbrushing. And so it would basically be to paint designs on people that replicated clothes. So
Really?
yeah, so like the goal was to not appear nude.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That
so
sounds
that was
hot
what, yeah.
and
And so,
sexy.
yeah, it was.
And airbrushing.
Yeah, airbrushing, yeah. So, sometimes you'll have like stone designs, and, I really wanted to ensure that whoever I did the paint on was covered, because you couldn't go in places topless. You
Right.
know what I mean? So, I would either paint myself, or I would, have a model with me,
Yeah.
and to promote, you know what I mean? And I'll
How
have her
long
with
does that
body paint
take?
and stuff on. It really varies depending on the detail of what you're doing. It's not something that I do anymore.
Uh huh.
Um and once I stopped doing it, I started referring people to other body
Okay.
paint artists, but like Felly on the Avenue of Fashion,
Uh huh.
phenomenal,
Okay.
cold, one of the coldest to ever do it in my opinion
Okay.
when it comes to body painting.
Okay.
But and airbrushing too. But it varies. It could take sometimes, in some instances, it took hours. In some instances, because I was self-taught,
Yeah.
and trial and error
Yeah.
and everything. But primarily with the liquid latex, that it gave the look of maybe a second skin or maybe leather or something like that, depending
Yeah.
on how the finish of
And
it was and
how long
whatnot.
does it last?
It can last like throughout the night. Yeah, typically with liquid latex, when your skin gets hot, or if it comes in contact with oily substances, that can make it lift away from the skin and start to
Do you be looking
peel.
naked?
Right, then you be looking naked. Right, exactly. So that's not really what you want to do.
Okay.
Whereas the airbrush may last a little longer because
Okay.
of the base of the paint.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, how do you take it off?
Well, you would use like a oil based remover. Like you can use baby oil. You can use dang. I don't want nobody saying no baby oil joke.
Right, this was not no
Oh,
Diddy party.
that was not. It was not no Diddy party disclaimer.
Right.
No, but you can use something oily to remove it, and then
We're so
shower.
silly.
You
Okay,
can't take me
then shower
nowhere,
it off.
and then
Okay.
shower the rest off. Yeah,
Okay. Now I know you had a stint out there as an exotic dancer.
I did.
What was your name?
Sparkle.
Okay, Sparkle. Is right there. Sparkle.
Yeah.
Where did you perform?
At Tycoons and John John's, the Wild Mustang, dating myself because it's not even called that anymore. Trumps.
Okay. So you had like some top clubs. All of them were like top
Yeah,
spots.
yeah,
Okay, so where's some of you made some money?
I did.
And so what led you from that? So I bet your face, I'm just guessing, was probably like fierce. You probably had like one of the most fierce faces on the stage. Did you do any body painting then?
I didn't do body painting there. I didn't wear body paint there because didn't want it to.
People was touching.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so then how did you transform from that into just like pure makeup artistry?
You know what? I transformed from that to being a full-time makeup artist because it got to a point where I started to feel differently about it. I don't for 1 minute look down on anyone who goes that route, and being an exotic dancer, or being, in the, adult entertainment field or whatnot. I don't look down on anyone, because no one is perfect, and so, but the thing is that I started to feel differently about it, with even with my upbringing and whatnot. It was not something that would have been like condoned or something that was encouraged, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, in feeling differently about it, I said that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to come out of this, lifestyle. I want to come out of this life. And I said that I wanted to be able to have a different career path that would still allow the same flexibility, that would allow comparable income, and make it a smoother transition, from it. And so at one point, when things were slow in the bar, I would work in the shop. Then when things got slow in the shop, I'll work at the bar. And then it was just like I finally just said, no, I don't care how slow it gets in the shop. I'm just not going to go back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was well, it was easy because of your morals, like you said, your upbringing. But I'm sure it was hard when you
It was
hard cold cash.
Oh no, it was.
Yeah.
No, it definitely was. You know what I mean? Because one thing, when you set your mind to do something, it's not always gonna be a easy thing. Right. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna face a challenge. You're gonna face some hurdles. You know what I mean? And you have to just like persevere. And it's like you have to just see where you want yourself to be, and you have to stick to it.
So it took a lot of discipline.
It did. It took a lot of discipline. There were, because like when I say things got slow, at one point it got slow. Like there were times where I didn't even, you would be in the shop, from open to close and not have one client. Yeah. You know what I mean? It would be days where I would not even make my booth rent. You know what I mean? And then it's rolling over to the next week.
Yeah.
There were times where I didn't even have any. I was living out of my car, like literally living out of my car, like sleeping in the parking lot at the Kmart on 7 Mile Telegraph. You know what I mean? It stuck to it, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So I was just like, I'm not gonna go back, and and then even in the midst of that, getting, being like a survivor of domestic violence, you know what I mean? And that whole fiasco. And so it was just like, I'm just not gonna go back.
Wow.
Yeah. That it was a whole thing.
You
that was
its own
story.
You probably need to write a book.
You know what my pastor told me, that pastor, shouts out to my pastor, Dr. Tanisha Evans, Divine Restoration Ministries. But
I gotta come visit too.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, we're still, amped up off of Thursday, 1,000 souls fed, serving the
Yes.
community, yeah, on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was great. We always
So we're
look
gonna
forward to
get
that.
into your ministry too, but
Okay.
I want, before we go any further,
Yeah.
can you please let people know how
Mhm.
can they contact you? How
Okay.
can they schedule an appointment, and where are you located?
Okay, well, I am the Dial Facer on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and I can be reached at 866-980-9680. And so that's the phone number that you can reach to schedule an appointment, and I'll send you a booking link because I do schedule online, just more efficient that way. And yep, I'm inside
Your
of Sweet
model.
Life Creations Salon on Greenfield near 7 Mile.
Yes, this is some of her words. So, milk pimp.
Milk Pimp.
Talk about it.
Milk Pimp.
LP.
Yes. Listen, I thank my babies for that, okay? Cause they are the milk pimps. It's them kids. It's them
Damn
babies.
Kids, them damn kids.
The babies will do it. Listen, I know that when we look at the female body, it may be, enticing, you have the curves and, all that type of stuff, and when I tell you a baby's gonna let you know what your boobs are for. Okay, they gonna let you know. Okay, it's nothing erotic. There's nothing sensual about feeding, nursing a baby. Okay, they're gonna let you know that no, this is mommy. This is what they're for.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
hungry.
and we're hungry. Okay, so they are the milk pimps because when they want it, they're gonna grab it. They don't care if you're talking to somebody. They don't care if you're asleep. They don't care if you're using the bathroom. If they want it, they're going to get it.
That's
They're gonna be
what's
like,
up. They
run me
gotta
my
eat.
milk, mommy. Run it, run it,
Run it.
run it. And so because of how demanding that they were at times, that's where it came from.
Okay.
And it's also an acronym for my innocent little kid, precious in my possession.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
innocent little kid, precious in my possession.
Yeah, Milk Pimp.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
thank you.
So what is it?
Milk Pimp is a retail brand that carries clothing and accessories for moms who breastfeed as well as babies. And so, like, I have onesies that have little catchphrases and slogans on there that are like, like joking kind of thing, like my milk game strong, or something that says what a milk pimp is. Like if your baby is like a demanding, hungry baby, that, and this little prince drinks liquid gold, or this little princess drinks liquid gold, because that's also what breast milk is referred to as liquid gold too, because of the composition of it and everything. But and then I have like the fitted tees, like the baby tees that have like the lift up flap for like a mom to be able to nurse the baby without revealing if they want to be modest. And then also have like nursing covers that convert as car seat covers or whatnot. Yep. So
very creative.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, and
Yeah.
the babies inspired that.
The babies inspired it. Yes, I was a breastfeeding mom. For my oldest son, he 10 months, did it for 10 months. My youngest daughter, 19 months, and my youngest son, like a little over 3 years. He needed some help letting it go. He needed help.
Okay. He was pimping hard.
He was pimping hard.
So how can people get a hold of Milk Pimp products?
Okay, well, they can actually still use the 800 number that I provided earlier for Milk Pimp products,
And the
because
number
we're in the
again?
process of revamping the website so that those products can be easily accessible. But I also have them on hand inside of Sweet Life Creation Salon.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that number again is 866-980-9680.
And where's Sweet Life located again?
Sweet Life located on 19321 Greenfield Road. So it's on Greenfield near 7 Mile.
And it's the black building.
It's the black building on the left. It's like diagonally across from the Judge Mathis building.
Okay. Now let's talk about your roles in the church.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the church again?
Divine Restoration Ministries.
And what do you do there?
I'm on the ministry team there. I also serve with the youth there, like the youth leaders there, and I also help serve in the media department.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so you're a minister as well?
I am. Yeah.
How did we get from exotic dancer to ministry?
I
I
know,
have to
right? The
ask.
Lord took me from the pole to the
Won't he do
pulpit.
it?
Okay, won't he do it?
Let's talk about that journey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? It wasn't something that I pursued.
Okay.
It was not a goal. Like, you know what? I want to be a preacher. I want to be. It wasn't that. It was it was. I felt like it was a calling that I couldn't run from, and so I just surrendered to it.
Okay.
Yep. And so I initially was ordained as a minister at Power of Deliverance Restoration Ministries
Okay.
under the leadership of pastors Tyrone and Kim Brooks.
Okay.
And so then once I left that ministry and came to Divine Restoration Ministries, I got ordained again by my bishop. Who he made his transition, R.I.P. Bishop, love you to life, Bishop J. Richard Evans Sr., and my pastor, Dr. Tanisha Evans. So that was about 9 years ago. No,
9 years ago.
yeah, 9 years ago when I first got ordained, and then reordained eight, no, yes, 8 years ago,
Okay.
because I was not, yeah, I was 9 months pregnant with my youngest daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like my the pictures from that ordination service. I got like this huge belly. No nose looking like humongous, like it's from 7 Mile to Belle Isle nose. You know what I mean? I'm crying, hands up like this. So it's like, yeah.
Okay. So wow. And you said you work in the social media department there as well.
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you do with the social media department?
Well, we still have, even though we have services, of course, in person, we still have virtual services for our members.
Okay.
And so I'm on camera,
Okay.
yeah, for our Zoom services, and I help with content creation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I love your whole demeanor, everybody. Listen, when you go to the shop, it's like you feel it. It's in the air. She just has a warm, calming energy.
Thank you.
You feel like you didn't have to tell me, hey, I'm all in the church and I do this. It's just like this feeling that you have when you go in there.
Awesome.
It's your aura. It comes off of you.
Wow.
So
Glory to God.
I
Yeah.
want to shout that out.
Thank you.
So how is it? You've been married for 11 years.
Right, and that's crazy. It's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
It's
Girl,
crazy.
you over a decade in.
Man, it's wild that it's been 11 years, because like it doesn't seem like it's been that long for real. And then it's like he and I had a debate as to how long it had been, because I was like, no, it was this amount of years. And he's like, no, it's this amount of years. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, because we were this old when it happened, and we got me. And he was like, no. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask Facebook. So I went on Facebook and I was like, dang, he was right. So yeah, it's been 11 years.
Okay. So how is it balancing MP, Milk Pimp, the makeup artistry, being an estheticianist, and being so heavily involved in your church? I know you did mention at Greenfield Plazas where you learned the time management, but how do you put all of that together to balance family, church, your spirituality, and your business, and your new emerging business? How do you balance all of that?
I learned a lot from the example of my pastor. She's a serial entrepreneur in her own right.
Really?
Yeah, and Bishop was too. And so in seeing how they were able to manage things, it gave me I guess you could say like a blueprint or like a guide on how to manage it. And I'm not consistent with keeping everything going. Some days it feels like I'm juggling, and it feels like a ball drops or two, on some days. And then, the days that happens, I just try to pick them back up, but I can honestly say that in some instances, my husband helps balance me out. I'm more impulsive. He's more, I guess, planned. I'm more like, no, we got to do it now. We got to move, and I'm like, I'd rather just try, and then like, oh, well, back to the drawing board, so I've been back to the drawing board multiple times, and even now I feel like I'm back to the drawing board, you know what I mean? And so that's why when I, even in preparing, my bio, I'm like, really? I'm like, dang,
Time
it's
gets
been
away
it's
from
like
you.
it's been that long.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I still got a lot more to do. Like everything, like the different events that happen, different
Yeah.
memories, different hair shows, magazines, and whatnot. It's like it still like it's fresh in my mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it's like it's not like old to me yet. Like I'm not like over it yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I, even though I've been in this career for the length of time that I've been in it, I don't feel like I've gotten to a place where like, okay, I've arrived now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that. I feel like I still need to be out here. And so, yeah,
As we say in Detroit, I'm out here.
I'm out here.
So believe it or not, we
Mhm.
got like 3 minutes. This time goes by fast.
Wow, that was
Oh,
fast.
I know.
Yeah.
So I want to know what's next for you because you said you back at the drawing board.
Yeah, I'm back at the drawing board. And so, what's next is the revamp and relaunch of my lip color collection. It's going to be a totally different name.
Okay.
And so, it's not going to be Doll Faced Cosmetics. It's going to be another name. So, I'm not going to release that name at this present time, but
Okay.
it's going to be that.
But when you get ready,
Oh,
you
but when
gotta
I,
come here. And
oh,
let me know.
absolutely, yes, definitely. So that's on the horizon, along with the revamp for the online access for Milk Pimp products, and also the addition of other services that I'll be able to offer to clients.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get training,
Okay.
so that I can offer more services to my
Yeah.
clients. Yeah,
Always improving.
got
Getting
to.
better.
Yeah.
So for our last 2 minutes, I know this your whole career has been about you and not any name dropping, but I gotta do it.
Okay.
I gotta do it.
Okay.
You are the daughter of royalty. Period. Listen, it is nobody in our age category and over who don't know about babes on TikTok.
Oh,
So you
wow.
gotta talk about coming from a family like that with your dad being the owner of the previous babes. What was that like?
That was
And give a
interesting.
shout out to your daddy.
Yeah, shouts out to my dad, Bill. Shouts out to my dad, Bill or Will. A lot of people know him as Uncle Will these days. That was it was interesting. Seeing his drive,
Yeah.
his vision, and his ambition. That was very, very interesting to see that. It was like when it was time to go to work, it was like switch gears,
Yeah.
and he was like, just focused, laser focused on that. And there's a lot of us, it's a lot of us, and we didn't all grow up together. And so, but despite us not all living in the same household, because I was raised by my grandparents,
Okay.
and so I did not grow up with my dad per se,
Okay.
but I love my dad and we have a good relationship. And so, but despite that, he wasn't the type of dad that said, "Oh, well, if their mama's like this or their mom like that." Da, da, da. He was adamant about having his children together.
Okay.
And so that's one thing that I admire about him, and his work ethic, and his, like, just his vision, he dreams big,
Yeah.
and that even at this big age, he still dreams big.
That's
So
why you got a lot more to do.
right,
Yep. It don't stop.
right.
Yes. Well, I thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and when you're having good conversation and good people, the time, they say time flies when you're having fun.
Right, clearly, because man, it feel like this was about like 5-10 minutes.
I know, and we covered a lot. So
Yeah.
anything you want to give a shout out to or let Detroit know before we head out of here?
Yes, again, I want to shout out you, Stephanie. Thank you for having me on here. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. I want to shout out Sweet Life Creation Salon, owner Tangi Harris. Shout her out. Bomb hairstylist, okay? Period. Especially on that short hair, she gets you right together.
All right.
Want to shout out my church, Divine Restoration Ministries, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings,
Where y'all located?
16392 Harper, right on the corner of Autobahn, near 94. I want to shout out my husband, Leo. Thank you. I'm not the easiest to deal with. I know I'm not the easiest to deal with, but, thank God for him. I want to shout out my children, man, because I'm an interesting mommy.
Are we all?
I'm an interesting mommy, so yeah, I want to shout out my children, love them, thank God for them, and my clients. Like,
Yes, shout
they,
out.
I gotta shout out my clients. Like, I'm so thankful to have the some of the same clients from a long time ago, and then even like the new clients that are coming to me, I'm really thankful, and definitely don't take it for granted by any means. The people that come and sit in my chair to get dial faced,
Get down face.
because you're already beautiful. Get dial faced.
I know that's right. Well, thank you again. I
You're
want to give a
welcome
special
again.
shout out to you. I love
Thank
my
you.
lashes. They feel so natural and they
Good.
last. And I want to give a special shout out to my special friend, Mr. Keeper, for even introducing me to you. And how here we
Yes.
are now.
Right,
So
right.
thank you, Detroit. Thank you for all the listeners. And we'll see you next week right here, Beauty in the D, at the new WJZZ, the coolest TV. Thank you.